How to put Sable in the house. She saw there's some creature out there. It's probably the turkeys. Turkeys are quite active this time of year. How's everybody doing? They'll be back out in a few minutes. Don't worry. You won't have to keep staring at me. By the way, anybody that ordered Blu-rays and everything, I just finished them and I'm packing them up now. They'll be shipping by Friday. Blu-rays, the Frankenstein looks good. I'll post a picture of it. I don't have a I took a picture, but okay. Can you see that? No, you can't see that. Hi, Cherie. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Anthony. I did not see the Beetlejuice. I did not see Beetlejuice. But that makes me think there's eventually going to be a Beetlejuice. Like I said, anybody that ordered Blu-rays or a thumb drive for that matter, I just did them all today. I just finished them all today. This has been I've been up 2 nights ago. I was up until 2 a.m. And um, last night I was up until about midnight. Hi, Ricky. I like the dog. I can barely see it. It's tiny avatar, but I can see you're holding a dog, so I already like you. And once I get those Blu-rays all done, I'll have more time, and maybe I'll start doing some spirit talkers at night. Because that was fun the last time we did it. Plus, I wasn't even sitting in the dark. I showed the video on here, by the way, the condensed version of what happened. But instead of got to go, bye. See you, Cherie. Go make some babies. I mean, Deliver some babies after your meeting. I just banned St. Petersburg, Russia. That's a shame, but these are a cheap cigar called Quorum. I buy them in the pack. They should be able to come out here in a minute. Um, it's Wednesday. Tomorrow I'll finish the Blu-rays. Friday I'll pack them on ship. I still, for those of you that have ordered T-shirts or hoodies, I haven't placed the order yet because I was waiting to get a few more orders to bring to keep the cost under control. But we'll see what happens. By my plan is to order them on Monday. You will be getting the final Bad Ben next year, yes, in theory. I need some support to do that. It's one of the reasons why it's the final Bad Ben, too, because number one, it's not the final Nigel Bach, it's the final Bad Ben. But number one, um, it can, you know, I can continue doing stuff that's just not tied to Bad Ben. It's Nigel Bach or Tom Riley doing something else. Um, and as it is, Bad Ben's only made passing appearances. And most, I mean, 13, he squashed the Crescent Clown. But in 14, he just saw Frankenstein walking down the side of the house and he heard Bad Ben squeal and he looked up. Um, so 15 is going to wrap up this storyline after 9 years and 15 films. But like I was saying, they constantly, having to ask for support is just, it's just tiring. I mean, people don't have money. I don't have money, or else they wouldn't be asking for money. The fans, they all are under the same crunch. But one of the ways you can support is by subscribing, buying T-shirts, and a lot of you do. Many of these names I see in here, I recognize as subscribers. Hi, Phil. I see the turkey.
Come on, table.
Turkeys love our backyard because there's lots of seeds and stuff.
Let's go.
So Mama will take her in the house for a few minutes till the turkeys are gone. All the Blu-rays, so you know that you guys had ordered them, all the Blu-rays are printed. I've got all the cases, but what happens is, and all the sets of 12 are done and in their cases. But as you know, we had Dracula's Situation and Frankenstein. So those of you that ordered Frankenstein, they each have to be put in a individual case. And those of you that ordered, same with Dracula, but those of you that ordered the full set of all 14, you get one of those full packs of the 12, plus you get a Dracula, plus you get a Frankenstein. So there are 35 Frankensteins I have to make the jackets for, which they're printing now. And then there's there's 25 of the full sets, but that includes the 35. 10 of you ordered just Frankenstein. 25 people ordered the full set, and one person ordered 12, 13, and 14. Well, one person ordered 12, Alien Agenda, and one and I don't think anybody ordered the Dracula Situation standalone, but it comes with the full set, those of you that bought the full set. So I got some posters that got to go out. Somebody ordered Menace. Somebody, thumb drives, and I had 2 of the Tom Riley talkers. So they're all going out. Hey, Google, what's the temperature?
Currently in Egg Harbor Township, it's 75 degrees.
It's saying it's 75 here right now. It's beautiful out. And it was humid earlier today, but the humidity has dropped way down. Weirdest thing, though, we have had the summer, we had a couple hot days, like a week of in the 90s, which for us is very hot, especially because the humidity level here. But for the most part, the summer wasn't that bad. And the skies were very clear. Like today, the sky it's just so nice out and all. And I thought about it. A couple years ago, not even that far, probably 3 miles in a straight line, used to be a coal burning power plant for Atlantic City Electric. And they knocked down the big old cooling tower, which looked like a nuclear plant, those big tall concrete things. And then last year they knocked down the smokestack. And I'm thinking to myself, I've lived here 24 years now. Could that have been polluting the sky bad enough? that this past summer it finally all cleared up, and it's just, I don't know, it's been awful nice out. Last winter was pretty mild. We did have one snowstorm, but it wasn't terrible. I used the snow blower to clear the driveway once. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what winter brings. But it's not even fall yet for another 10 days. And it is just beautiful out here. How's your weather been? I wasn't going to watch the presidential debate last night because I just figured it would all be summed up, you know, today. But because I was making Blu-rays, I did have it on YouTube. I was watching it. There's one thing I wish about moderators of these things. I wish when they asked for a yes or no answer to a question that they would cut the speaker off and say it's a yes or no answer, yes or no. But they don't do that. I'll tell you what, some of these smaller news stations that have had like you know, candidates relevant to their area, for instance, congressional districts, like not something nationwide that's not federal. And the only federal office you vote for, all people vote for, is president. Because senators, we each vote for our own two. Congressmen, we each vote for our own one. Same with everything down lower. You know, we don't vote for, in New Jersey, we're not voting for Pennsylvania senators. But like when a local news station would be running a debate between congressional candidates, some of these smaller, like local stations, the host really has great control over the candidates or great control over the debate. That's not what I asked. It's a yes or no answer. Will you vote for this? Yes or no? Well, it comes, no, it's a yes or no. I like that. I just gave away the crossbow we used in um, the Dracula situation. I just gave that away this afternoon. Friend came over and picked it up. I had to show him how to use it, and I said, just so you know, this has only ever been fired 3 times. I can't believe that in this state, buying a handgun is a big process, which I'm thankful for, but you have to be fingerprinted. You have a 2-week waiting period, and then you have a background check, and then you pick it up. I'm fine with all those steps. A rifle or a shotgun, you can just go in, show your firearms ID card. They run the check on you to make sure you haven't had any recent anything come up since you first got approved. And you can sometimes leave there within the hour. But, for obvious reasons, they're somewhat, um, they check. They do background checks and they don't just let you walk in, buy a gun, and walk out. At least not in this state. But what I was shocked about was when I wanted to get a crossbow for a prop for the movies, I was able to walk into Walmart and they had them sitting on the shelf. And I'll tell you what, when I fired that, there's two arrows out here. And like I said, it's only ever been fired 3 times. The first time I shot it, I have no idea where the arrow went. The second time I shot it in a tree, it went through it. It's still sticking in it. And the third time was that scene in Dracula where we shot at Scott, but I didn't shoot it then. But it was set up, and the only way to release it is to fire it. So I had Scott, my former Marine. I told him to shoot it. He pointed at a tree, and it was night out and everything. He pointed at a tree and shot it, and it stuck about 20 feet in the air out there in a tree. The one over here is about 12 feet high. I got on a ladder, tried to pull the arrow out, wasn't happening. What are you watching it on, JP? Hey, Google, broadcast.
What's the message?
I think it's clear out here now.
All right, broadcasting now.
Hi, Susan. Got a lot of people in here right now that I don't normally see. Now, those of you that are on different platforms don't see people on the other platforms, like the guys and gals on X don't see the person on YouTube or the people on Facebook, but there's a lot of like Ricky, J J J Play Vines, and Susan Flores. You're people I haven't seen in here often, and Anthony G. So welcome or welcome back. Sable just ran out. She's looking around for creatures. Her hair's up on her back. She's looking, but not immediately able to find anything. Her tail's wagging. She suspects something's out there, but she can't say it. And there, everyone, is the lovely Mrs. who had a moment a little while ago.
Oh. Burning from the inside.
She walked over to the fan, took her shirt up, put it right over the fan. It was like watching Marilyn Monroe with her skirt over the storm drain. If those of you that are old enough to, I'm sure everybody's seen that iconic scene. And she just flopped down over there. Woman in control. Look at her. Got the hairnet on.
It's not a hairnet.
The barrette thing. What's it called?
Hairband.
A hairband. Something I have zero use for.
By the way, it looks fine in the back.
What?
You told me to let you know about your haircut.
Oh, I gave myself a haircut. That's one of the things when you start a movie, you can't, unless it's relevant to the movie, you can't change your appearance at all. My wife and I want to do our vows renewal in your backyard. How much would you charge us? Well, where do you live, first of all? Chester, PA. Well, that's a bit of a haul, but it's not that far. Um, the thing about it is do you plan on having people attend? Because it's really not like there's no setup out here to put up any tables or anything to have guests and um, but if you were just planning on I mean, you could bring a few people, you do it, and if you then were going out to a restaurant or something, you could. But I have an idea. But it all depends on how many people you plan on coming. JP, let me show his comments. Hi, Ronnie. JTP said, "Hi, Ronnie. Um, how small though? Because I have an idea. Number one, when you do a renewal of vows, the person doing them doesn't basically have to be a minister or anything because it could be anybody because you're already married. However, you are looking at Reverend Nigel Bach. I don't know if you knew that because I performed the ceremony for my best friend and his wife back in 2020, I guess. It was October. It's the first year of pandemic. There was no vaccine yet. I was nervous as hell. But I think we could have, uh, I think we could have a wedding, a renewal of vows where you have the witch bitch there, you have the crescent moon clown, you have Dracula, and you have Frankenstein. We don't have any other female characters in the movies, though, because I think it would be cool if we had two women. You could be on the bride side, the Crescent Moon Clown, or Dracula, or um, Frankenstein could be on the groom side. But that would be like three guys. Although we don't know about the Crescent Moon Clown, we assume that's a dude. And we could do it right in front of Puddles the Clown's well. But it should be done after dark. When did you plan on doing it? I would officiate. And I think we could have. Now, when you do, though, a renewal of vows, it's not an actual legal ceremony, is it? Because I mean, I am legally able to officiate, but the paperwork that's involved. All right, Stephanie, see ya. But the paperwork that's actually involved is a little bit of a pain in the ass. Stephanie's here from work. Last time she came in, or a couple times ago, she was at a Metallica concert or something without hearing protection. So I guess she turns on the closed captioning so she can figure out what I'm saying here because she can't hear. Oh, you have a year to plan. All right. Well, let me know. You tried to invite us, and what happened? What did I say? I'm always one down for free food. Although Chester, PA. Ronnie, is the closed captioning accurate? Like on YouTube, you can turn on close. Can you turn on live closed captioning? Like it's display. I know it's delayed, but it's displaying what I'm saying, and is it accurate? You reached out on social media a few times. Really? I don't. I don't ever remember saying that. I,
Apologize.
huh?
Apologize.
I apologize. I probably wouldn't have come because I'm a celebrity, but I would have at least not left you hanging. Jay, are you African American? Now, there's relevance for why I'm asking this question. It's not a racist thing, but I have a story. I can't tell your avatar small. Yes. Okay. Well, can I tell you a black wedding story? Years, I would say this had to be when I was about 22 years old. So this was like 36 years ago. A friend of mine I went to a high school where I was one of 12 white kids in the high school. And there was only 112 people in my graduating class. Like it was 400 in my freshman class, but it whittled down because the community was one where a lot of people dropped out. But anyway, so 4 years after I graduated high school, one of my friends got married and she happened to be African American. So it was this, I've pointed out this house to you where this happened, that
Okay.
Tilton Avenue in Pleasantville, that road where we cut, it goes to Walmart one end and
Yeah.
the other end goes to Main Street. And I'll point, now that I'm having this story, I'm going to point it out to you again tomorrow. So it was a normal house with a backyard. And by the way, anybody having a wedding, let me tell you something. I, from videotaping, used to videotape a shit ton of weddings, sometimes more than one in a day. And I videotape weddings at casinos, at these like real expensive restaurants. and I videotape weddings at fire halls and VFWs. And I will tell you, if you're planning on getting married, listen to Uncle Nigel right now. You do not have to spend tens of thousands of dollars having a reception at some place where you're spending 200-300 bucks a plate. That's insane. Have a barbecue, have it in a VFW, have it in a fire hall. Hands down, I will tell you, those weddings that I videotaped in like fire halls, VFWs, and stuff at barbecues, those people had a fantastic time. They weren't stuffy. There was no parking issues. It was just, you can have a great, the important thing is you want people to remember having a great time at your wedding. That's not saying if the means presents itself for you to have a luxurious wedding in a, a couple $100 a plate, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. More, and I'm happy for you. But when you have these smaller venues, like for instance, this fire hall, and I know I've shown you that Farmington fire hall, that place, they will take, and like the woman's auxiliary in there will even cater it. And this one wedding, in fact, a friend of mine whose wife just happened to pass away last week after 30 years of marriage. It's tragedy. She was the nicest lady. Um, they had their wedding reception in. When you hear of a place called Farmington, you can set your expectations based on that. So they had this wedding reception there. Sable, come up here. They had this wedding reception there, and the ladies' auxiliary and made the food, and we had like meatball subs and ziti and fried chicken. Oh, it was so nice. But anyway, let me get back to the wedding in Pleasantville, the black wedding I was at. So I was invited, and I go there to this wedding, and it was just a normal house and backyard barbecue, and the wedding was held just like any other wedding. Great time. But it comes to the point where they do the garter belt and they throw the flowers. Well, they do the garter belt, and guess who catches it? I do. Then they do the bouquet, and guess who catches it? A 10-year-old African American girl. So now, as is the tradition, I have to put the garter belt on the leg of a 10-year-old girl, person of color, and here I am, old whitey. And I got to tell you, I sweat through my clothes. And when I got down to it, when it came time to do it, she sat there and she's looking a little freaked out. And I put it just on the tip of the toe of her shoe. And I went like that. Said, there you go. Because I predicted an ass whooping. I don't know if you find the humor in that, but I just ask you to picture it in your mind. Me with hair at like 22 years old with a young child of color at a wedding that was attended mostly by people of color. I did see my life pass before my eye. But it was one of the best weddings I've ever been to.
Did they eat any animals?
No, that's fucking bullshit. That's not going on. That is racist.
No kidding. Sorry.
It's okay, honey. They said they were talking about apartment buildings are being taken over by Haitian refugees. The people living in the apartment building say, no, they're not. Come on in. Look around.
You saw it on television. So
Oh, God. J.D. Vance said it too. Oh, God. My favorite Bad Ben was the first one, followed by the seventh one. The Haunted Highway was a lot of fun to do. It's the first time we took it outside the house. But hi, Crystal.
Didn't have anything to do with me.
But then each time I do one, they become like I have favorite memories.
Sable, come here. Come here.
Favorite Sable's on a roll today. I have favorite memories from each one, like the Undead, where the zombies chased us in the shed. That was fun. The Alien Agenda with the alien birth, that was just an absolute blast. That was. Oh, Sable, good Lord Jesus.
See, you invited her once.
She's been, the past couple nights, she's been coming up on me.
Come here, Sable.
The baby doll crawling up the wall, yes,
Come here, Sable.
that was Haunted Highway, I think. But in
Sable.
the Dracula situation, that was a lot of fun also. But the fun part was when we shot that scene where I shot Scott with the crossbow. And in between, this is something you guys didn't see, but in between those scenes where, well, the scene with Jared walking out and getting tasered by the Crescent Moon Clown, that was just a fun night. The zombies was a lot of fun. We got to shoot most of that in the zoo. She doesn't see anything, does she?
She doesn't.
Sable, calm down. And
Come here.
Holly ripped off the heads of the zombies, killed them both single-handedly. But this last one, Frankenstein, was fun because that scene at the end with Frankenstein getting the top of his head chopped off, that was, we shot that 3 times. But that was fun. The scene, I'm trying to think of all this. Well, one of the most fun scenes for me to shoot that was a pain in the ass was in the way in, where I was calling the names of the ghosts and demons and sending them through the portal. Well, I had my buddy Mike here, and I had a bucket full of ashes from the wood stove. And I told him, you got to throw the ashes at me. I said, but you got to hit me with them. You can't throw them short or it will look stupid. Well, guess what he did? The first one, he threw them all fucked up and they like hit my feet. And then I had to sweep up and vacuum all those ashes so we could do it again. But we did. And that was fun. The Crescent Moon Clown, the scene where I come in, and well, Jetta was funny because she was just, it turns out I went to high school with Jetta's mother, and Jetta's mother was here every night we shot. And there was the scene where the Crescent Moon Clown chases her and he pulls off her hair and she turns around, she smacks him. Well, Nick, who was in the Crescent Moon Clown outfit that night, she tested smacking him and she hit him hard. And he's a big guy and he bent over in pain. That was the rehearsal. But then when we did it for real, she hit him equally as hard. But then the scene where I like charge him and miss and go flying down the steps, and she gets him in the bathroom, and you see him come out without his head off and fall down, and she walks out carrying his head. That was fun to do. In Bad Ben, the fun, I'm just thinking about scenes where I get pulled into the basement. Everything has a story. That was my best buddy Matt. He's the guy whose wedding I did. Um, we haven't gone to haunted houses. We've done the Spirit Talker here. In fact, on YouTube, that video's still up. Was the last one we did. I think it was a week ago, like 10 days ago. That one was really good. We use the Spirit Talker, which is a random word generator. It's an app on a phone, but it's visible on the screen, and up came the word Jesus, which I had said during the broadcast. I've never had a religious word come. I mean, we've had Satan come up, and that's religious, but from the light side of religion, it said Jesus, and then a couple words later, it said Holy Spirit, and I said, "Man, that's weird." And just a couple minutes later, I was going to sign off because I'd been on for an hour. And I said, before I sign off, and I'm looking because we kept hearing noises, the people that were watching, Ronnie, I think, was there. Sarah, I know, was there. There was one point Sarah was typing out a question on her computer in her home, and the Spirit Talker says Sarah. Okay, just like you're sitting in your home right now, she was sitting in her home. And but we kept hearing noises, and the people watching were hearing the noises. And I was alone in the basement, but it wasn't that creepy because in the past I'd done it. I shut out all the lights, I'd have some candles, and I would just be lit up by the computer screen. This time, turned on, had every light on, and it was bright, but we were having we were hearing noises and tapping sounds down there. And so I look in the direction, like off to here where I was hearing the noises. And I'm just about to sign off. And I'm saying, look, I've been on here an hour. I'm going to wrap this up now. But then I just turned like towards the direction of where I heard the noises. And I said, before I go, you've said two of the three parts of the Trinity. You said Son, which was Jesus. You said Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost. Can you tell me the third part? And I no sooner got done saying it, and the Spirit Talker said God, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, the three parts of the Trinity. I never had that happen before. It was the freakiest broadcast I ever had. I'm not saying no, JP. Scott, my co-star in the last 5 films, he was only in a small part of Frankenstein because he did had a 8-week course at Stella Adler that he got a scholarship to in New York. So we shot his first part, and then he was gone for 8 weeks. I shot everything else, and then we shot the end part. And but he has had real paranormal. So has Holly. I have not. We used to do paranormal investigations with this group called Access Paranormal Investigates in the UK. And Jamie and Marie and Jonathan used to do paranormal investigations over there, and they would broadcast them live to us here. They had some freaky stuff happen. But they were fun to do. But the spirit talkers that I do at night, and tonight I'll still be making Blu-rays, so I can't do it tonight, but they were they can be fun. Well, happy anniversary. We shall talk later. You take care, my friend. I'm going to be staying on for about another 8 minutes, folks, because that'll be an hour. Then I got to get back to work making your Blu-rays. So, Ronnie, how's the weather? There's a hurricane down there, but this time it's on the other side of the Gulf. It's getting Texas and Louisiana. So I imagine that will bring us rain later. We've got no rain really scheduled till next Tuesday, but it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, that's the problem when you have torrential rainfalls and then no rain for weeks at a time. We had some rain last week, but that was it. Yeah, California's been having some. What's going on there besides the wildfires? Yeah. All right, folks. Well, it was nice talking to you tonight. I'm going to hop off of here for now. I probably won't be back on later tonight because I am making your Blu-rays. But I shall talk soon. See ya. Love you. Bye for now.